What's going on, Slay Bays? It's your girl Ashley and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna be going over a bunch of new affordable / drugstore products in a makeup tube. I'm gonna sit down, play with makeup, let you guys know how these products are performing and what I think about them. I'm also going to be experimenting with color. I don't do it often, but anytime I experiment with color on my channel, you guys get really excited. So I'm really hoping you guys love this video. If you guys love it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Like seriously, stop, pause, thumbs it up. Also, don't forget to press that subscribe button and click that bell so that way you are notified every time I upload, which is every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, kick back, relax, because it's gonna be a long video. So the very first thing I'm gonna do in this video is start off with the eyes, and I'm gonna first start off with eyeshadow primer. Makeup Revolution recently came out with the Prime and Lock Long Wearing Eyeshadow. It is in a very big and thick packaging, very much comparable to like a Tarte Shape Tape. Like this is large and in charge, but I'm gonna use this to actually prime my eyelids, and as you can see, the applicator is very much comparable to that of Tarte Shape Tape, so I have high hopes for this. Then with a fluffy brush, I'm just going to pat directly over top of that eyeshadow primer and blend it out. So I will definitely say that this eyeshadow primer, it's not super opaque like a concealer, but it's also not as thin as a regular eyeshadow base. Like it's not clear. It definitely has some kind of tint to it. So I'm feeling it and I'm definitely about that. It blended out very nicely onto the eyelids, and my eyelids don't feel or look dry at all. And that is a big thing for me. So while my eyelids aren't like dry or crusty or anything like that, I do want my eyelid base to be a little bit brighter because I will be working with color today and I really want those shadows to stand out. So I will be going in with this concealer by Morphe. This is their latest concealer that they recently launched within their Fluidity line. Now this is C0.00, and I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to put it on my eyelid. Now I'm going to start very close to my actual lash, and I'm not going to bring this color all the way up underneath my brow bone because I don't want underneath my brow bone to be too stark white. So I'm really just taking the concealer and putting it on my lids, and I'm lightly patting and blending it out with that same brush I used for the original eyelid primer. Now clearly this looks really crazy, but all for very good reason. So the first shade I'm going to take from the palette is called Solar, which is that really beautiful yellow, and I'm going to take that on an M441 by Morphe, and I'm going to use this yellow as my transitional color. So I'm really going to buff and blend it into the crease from outer to inner corner. So you can definitely see that that yellow is really standing out and popping over top of that stark white base. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more of a precise brush. This is a Luxie 131 mini angled brush, and I'm going to take a little bit more of Solar, and I'm just really going to intensify this yellow in the crease. Do you guys see how vibrant this yellow is right now? I am living. Now I'm just gonna take that same M441 and really just buff and diffuse out these edges before I actually go in with my lid colors. So now that I have that yellow in the crease, what I'm going to do is actually cut the crease with the brand new Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas Full Coverage Eyeshadow Base. So many of you guys sent this to me, told me that you guys wanted me to try it and test it out. So I did pick mine up in the shade Illustrate, and I am going to use this to be cutting the crease today. Now I did get not the lightest one. I want to say it was like the second to lightest one. And what I'm going to do is just do exactly what I would normally do whenever cutting my crease to see if it actually works. So let me just say, I was definitely able to cut my crease with the concealer. The only thing that kind of concerns me is that when I pull the wand directly out of the tube, there is so much product on the brush, which is just so strange to me. You do have to kind of discard and wipe away a lot of the product before actually going in and cutting the crease. The wand also carries a lot of product. I got a lot of concealer on my eyelashes, so it just feels a little bit messy to me. I also was expecting the wand to be super thin like. It is a little bit fluffier than what I would typically use to cut my crease, but nonetheless, it did get the job done. I just feel like there are some flaws within the component. Like, it just picks up so much product, and that's my only concern with this. What I'm doing now is I'm just taking a flat brush and I'm really blending out the area where I put that concealer just because I want it to lay nice and flat. I'm now going to switch over to using this Player palette by Revlon. This is brand spanking new, and what really drew me to want to pick this palette up is the beautiful pops of color, the blues and the greens. So I'm going to pick up that bright green shade and pop it right onto the very inner part of my lid. So I will definitely say right off the bat that this green is extremely beautiful, vibrant, and super pigmented directly over top of that concealer. Like, look how gorgeous. The next shade I'm going to take from within that palette is that really beautiful teal blue. And I'm going to pat this right next to the green on an ABH 813 brush. So now that I've placed that blue right next to the green, the next step I'm going to do is try to really just buff and blend the lines between the blue and the green, just so that way they melt seamlessly together. So I'm just taking a pencil brush with a little bit of that blue shade from the Revlon palette, and I'm just running it back and forth between the blue and the green to get a little bit more of a seamless blend going. I'm also going to pick up a little bit of the green and just re-intensify the very inner part and drag a little bit of the green onto the blue. Right now things look a little strange just because I don't have any color or definition in my crease, and oftentimes things will start to look very, very flat until you put a deeper color right here in the very outer corner. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up the shade called Evergreen from the 18 Hit Wonders palette, and I'm going to start building it up right here on the very outer corner of my eyelid, and I'm going to start in patting motions like so, and I'm really just going to build this up until I like the intensity. And I'll first start packing it on, and then I'll take my brush and sweep it inwards on top of that teal for a better blend. With an M507, I'm really just going to start blending this color in the crease very, very lightly. And what I love about an M507 is that it's perfect for precision blending, and it's perfect for just sticking your brush right here in the very outer V area. If you guys haven't tried out this brush, I definitely recommend that you give it a try because I think it's really going to elevate your blending game. Then with an M441, I'm just going to go in small circular motions to really just buff and blend the green into the yellow a little bit better. So I'm having trouble blending that green in with the yellow seamlessly, so I am going to jump over to the James Charles palette, and I'm going to pick this shade up right here, and I'm going to use this color as a transitional color from the deeper evergreen shade to the yellow, so that way it all just kind of like melts into each other and there aren't like super harsh edges in the look. So right now I will definitely say I'm very much impressed with the way that things are turning out. I do kind of want to deepen up the outer V a little bit, so I'm going to take the deep brown from the Revlon palette on that same M507, and I'm just going to place this right here in the very outer V just to really smoke it out and deepen it up a little bit. So I'm really just patting this color right here on the very outer part of the crease. And again, I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm just really adding slight drama to the look. Then with a flat definer brush, I'm going to take that same deep brown and press it right here next to the lash line. Also, you guys, I have been watching You on Netflix, and let me just say, it's probably one of the best shows I've come across in a really long time. It definitely gives me like Dexter vibes. Let me know if you guys get the same vibe. If you guys have never watched Dexter, definitely watch it and tell me if you guys get the same like kind of feel and vibe from the show called You on Netflix. I'm freaking obsessed. We've already finished it, and I'm so sad that I have to wait for more episodes to come out because who knows how long that's gonna take. So this right here is more or less what I'm vibing with for this eye toot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup underneath the eyes, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on with the rest of the face. So I went ahead and cleaned up the fallout on my cheek area. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with mascara. I'm going to use this mascara by Milani. This is the Milani highly rated mascara. Literally my go-to mascara. It's one of my personal favorites. It makes my lashes look insanely beautiful. I'm now just going to pop on some false lashes, and then we can move on with the rest of the look. Now that my falsies are on, I wanted to give my post notification shout out of the day to Kayla Josie. She says, girl, that highlight is poppin'. I can see it from Maryland. Always banging out bomb looks every Tuesday and Thursday. Turn those notifications on. Subscriber since day one. Love my slay fam. Hashtag slaybays. XOXO. Love you, Ash. Love you so much, Kayla. Thank you so much for being a slaybay since day one and turning on those post notifications. If you guys want to be featured as my post notification shout out in my next video, then all you have to do is turn on your post notifications and leave me a comment down below letting me know you turn them on with the hashtag slaybays. Moving right along, we're gonna get started with face primer. I will be testing out the Star Primer, which is a water gel primer by Makeup Revolution. Now, I'm excited about this because I love me a good primer, and this is a water gel primer. Whoa, it actually smells like licorice. I'm not even going to fake the funk. For foundation today, I will be using the brand new Morphe Fluidity foundation. I did test this out in a full-on wear test over the period of a few days. So if you guys want to know my final thoughts on it, definitely check out the video linked up in the cards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm just going to dot it all over the skin. Then with a damp sponge, this one is by Wet n Wild, I'm just going to buff and blend out the foundation. So as you can see, the foundation is nice and blended out. I'm actually gonna move on to concealer. I'm gonna use the brand new e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in the shade Light Beige. And I'm gonna pop this directly underneath my eye. As you can see, the wand is so fat. It's very much comparable to Tarte Shape Tape, but I'm very interested in seeing how full coverage this concealer actually is. I did pick mine up over on the Ulta Beauty website. In case any of you guys were interested, I will have it linked down below. Ooh, okay. That is a thick concealer. Actually, what I'm going to do before I add any more concealer to my face is spritz my sponge with a little bit of Fix Plus just to get it redamped a little bit. And then I'm going to work on buffing and blending out this concealer directly underneath the eye because I'm not entirely sure how fast this dries down and I don't want to put myself in a weird situation where it dries down before I get a chance to blend it out. All right, so the under eye is nice and set, you guys. Like, look how full coverage that concealer was. Don't mind all of these breakouts right here. No idea what's happening, but we're gonna roll with it per usual. I'm now gonna go in with a little bit of loose powder. This one is by Collab. This is the Set the Stage Ultra Fine Loose Setting Powder in the shade Porcelain Ivory, and I'm gonna use this directly underneath my eyes to really set that concealer down and in place. To set my entire face, I will be using the Conceal and Perfect Loose Powder in the shade Natural by Milani, and I'm just gonna kind of press this all over to really just set the rest of my foundation down before moving on with any additional blush or bronzer or highlight. This is just going to create a very nice thin layer directly over top of your foundation just to ensure that whenever you put on the other powders like the bronzers, they don't skip and become blotchy. This is also a brand new powder from Makeup Revolution. This is the Bake and Blot Banana Light Powder, and I'm going to take a little bit of this and put it underneath my eyes to brighten. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that's what this was intended for, but I'm very interested in what this is gonna do for me. All right, so I will definitely say that this did a little bit of brightening underneath the eyes, nothing too crazy to the point where I feel like it's accentuating texture or pores or anything like that. It just added a very nice sheen, if you will. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna move on to bronzer. I've been loving this one right here by Milani. This is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade 3 Suntan. I'm also going to take a little bit of that powder and put it right alongside the sides of my nose to give it a little bit of definition. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of that powder and just pop it right here alongside my nose to really just clean up any of those lines that are like a little bit crooked. Juno. I'm also going to take some of this powder to clean up directly underneath my bronzer. So while I let that bake there for a little bit, I will go in with highlight. I will be using this new Reloaded Luster Lights Warm palette, and I'm going to take that champagne gold within the palette, and I'm actually going to use this to add a little bit more like glow to the skin, because right now we're looking really flat and really matte. Also going to take some of this on my temples, Cupid's bow, and chin. Girl, I am beaming, glowing. Like, who is she? We don't know her. For blush, I am going to use this by Milani. This is in the shade Rosy Oro. It's one of their baked blush shades, and let me just say, it is so gorgeous. I don't want to draw too much attention to the cheeks, so I'm using this sheer powder brush by Smashbox to add just a flush of color. I definitely want to finish off the lower lash line, so I'm going to go back into the 18 Hits Wonder Palette by e.l.f., and I'm going to pick that shade called Solar on a pencil brush and really just buff this on my lower lash line. Then on a flat definer brush, I'm going to go right back into that teal from the Revlon palette, and I'm going to push this closest to my lash line. With a small tapered blending brush in E45 by Sigma, I'm just going to take this brush and really just buff all the shades together on the very lower lash line to give it more of a seamless blend. Then I'm going to take that kind of like soft silver blue, and I'm going to pop it on my very lower lash line, also right in the very inner corner, to add something a little bit more extra to the look. As if this look wasn't colorful enough, I am going to go in with this liner in my waterline. This is by Maybelline. This is the Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil in the shade Silken Turquoise. I'm not entirely sure if you guys noticed, but I did not take that silver blue and pop it in my very inner corner. Instead, I'm going to take the champagne from the Reloaded Luster Lights Warm palette and pop it in my very inner corner. I'm also going to take that highlight and pop it right here on the tip of my nose. I'm just going to pop on a little bit of lower lash mascara. Again, since the eyes are so dramatic, I definitely don't want to draw any more attention to any other areas of my face. So I am going to go in with a nude lip color. This is by NYX Cosmetics. This is the Line and Load 2-in-1 Lippy in the shade DM Me. Now, these are my personal favorites. I really love the concept. Pretty much it's like a lip liner and a liquid lipstick all in one. Like, you can use this to line the lips because the wand is so slim, but you can also use this to fill in the lips as well. So it's literally been like an obsession of mine, and I really want to go out and buy like all the shades. Just saying. So one of the last and final things that I really wanted to test out was the Glow Revolution Prime Set and Glow Illuminating Face and Body Spray. Now, I'm a little bit nervous that this is totally gonna mess up my face, but I do want to give it a whirl, give it a go, and see what it's all about. So it says shake well before use, so I'm gonna give it a really good shake. This actually reminds me of like spray paint, just saying. Here we go. Woo! Got a big old spray nozzle. Okay, the spray is decent. Let me give it a test go before it gets on my skin. Okay, I'm gonna hold it really far away and spray. Okay, so it definitely added an overall glow to my skin, which is pretty. It's nice. It's like, it's not too bad. I'm also gonna go in with a little bit of the Collab Grand Finale 3-in-1 Hydrating Setting Mist. Yes, honey. Yes. And just like that, Slay Baes, this is the final and completed look. I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comments. It is different, so different than things I normally film on my channel, but I'm not even mad at it. Honestly, I feel like with the new lip and this like neutral tone shirt, it all just kind of goes with the vibe. You know what I mean? Like tousled hair. What do you think? If you guys want to know my thoughts on each and every single product, you guys already know what to do. Check out the description box down below. I'll have each and every single product linked, and next to the products that I love and would recommend a million times over will be a little asterisk. So if you ever want to know my thoughts on a product, check to see if it has an asterisk. If you guys want to be featured in next week's video, all you have to do is turn on your post notifications and leave me a comment down below with the hashtag #Slaybays. I love you, and I will talk to you guys all very, very soon. Deuces.